Welcome to Midlife Unlimited Life for Five. I'm your host, Kate Porter, the Midlife Metamorphosis Coach, and I'm delighted to be joined by my episode 41, how on earth did that happen, guest, the wonderful Helen O'Neill, author, founder of Coach Right, and portfolio career specialist. I'm so excited, you can tell, to give a taste of our full-length episode that's available now wherever you listen to your podcast. It came out yesterday. How to turn your expertise into a best-selling book. So welcome, Helen. It's fabulous to have you here.
Hi, Kate. I'm loving the fact we get to have a bite-sized conversation about books again.
Well, I say, although this is called Life of Five, just how bite-sized our chat's going to be, because I could talk about books all day. You could talk about books all day. I'm just at the start. Obviously, for those that don't know, I'm a newspaper editor turned coach, but I've not written a book. And that's really how Helen and I kind of came into each other's world, because we're both excited. I mean, you're an author, but writing books, it's something that in midlife we can turn around and go, and there's the old adage, isn't it? We've all got a book in us. And I think it is a time when we start thinking, I've always fancied doing that. Is that something you find?
Absolutely. A lot of people that I speak to, they've had incredibly successful careers, maybe more than one career, and then suddenly they're at this place where the seed has been planted somewhere along the way, either right when they were children or more recently somebody sits down and goes, do you know what, that'd make a really good book. And then once that seed is there, it sort of never really goes away, and it's how we can help to nurture that seed and to get the book out into the world.
Oh, and you are the person to speak to, because writing is literally, I mean, it's in my blood. It's in your blood too, isn't it? I mean, this is something childhood onwards, isn't it, for you?
Absolutely. I was the kid that used to have the torch under the duvet, when your parents were like, you need to go to sleep now. And I was like, but just one more chapter. And now I'm the bane of my friend's life. They're always like, have you seen this TV show? Have you seen this film? And I'm like, no, but I've read the book. So yeah, for
And the
me,
book's better. Yeah.
always, the book is always better than
Well,
the
I think that's the
film.
power of imagination, isn't it? And I know, obviously, you've written fiction and
Yeah,
non-fiction, and obviously, Coach Right for you. You work mainly with coaches, but the advice, the golden nuggets, the inspiration in our full-length episode, available now wherever you listen to your podcast, it applies to anyone wanting to write a book, isn't it? Doesn't it?
absolutely. Yeah, very much so. So the things we always say are start with why. Like everybody that thinks they might like to write a book, start to think about what your end goal is.
And
And
I
we
think
talk
that's
about
something that
that.
we can forget about, as in so many areas. The why is so important, because, and we go into depth about this, and we'll loop back, but the shoulds, the judgment, everything can creep in, but the why, and it's not a one size fits all, is it?
No,
Everyone's why is going to be different.
absolutely. And with a book, it's sometimes people have a lot of whys. So if we think about business owners who maybe want to share their expertise, and they might want to write a book that will help their client base, and they also want to generate income from their
Yeah.
book. So, you can have multiple whys, and there's no one is not more virtuous than another. So it's kind of thinking about that as the whole, because it's a lot to learn writing a book. It's not something that any of us have done before we do the first one. So there is a learning curve. And if you're really clear on why you want to do it, then you can look for communities that will support you, learnings that will support you, processes that will support you, so that you can make that dream a reality.
Yeah, because I know that there's a kind of a trend, shall we say, that now I don't know if it's because of the posts that I follow and the people I follow on social media, but it's something that I won't say worries me, because I don't do worry, it's beyond my control. But this kind of quick fix, let's turn around an instant book, instant AI generated, quick money, quick. But we're not talking about that kind of book, are we? I
No.
mean, I use the word, and in our title of our episode, the word expertise, because we're talking about writing from the heart, from what we know, not. Although AI has its uses, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you know, who doesn't want someone to tell them where the commas go? You know,
Oh,
if I can get a tool that can say, actually, this is how an Oxford comma works and whether or not you should use it, and this is
I
passive
break the
voice
rules.
and whether or
I'm gonna
not.
be buggered, excuse my French, because I use dashes. I start sentences with ands and buts. I love breaking rules. So
And isn't it great to know that when you work with a human editor, you can tell them that? And so you actually, again, we're jumping around a little bit here, but I use AI to help me in my editing process before I go to my human editor. And when I go to my human editor, I say, actually, I use these kinds of rules when I write because it aligns with my voice. So it sounds like me, because it is me. I pour my heart and soul into my books, and I'm sure you do into your writing too. You can't fake that with a piece of technology, but I can certainly get it to help me find my citations all day
yeah.
long.
Oh, well, it's like the boring technical bits, isn't it? And the boring technical bits are necessary, and that's why I think it can seem overwhelming. The idea of, yes, I'm going to write a book, but it's that next step, isn't it? It's like with anything. It's the old, you don't know what you don't know, but with this, perhaps you do know what you don't know, but you don't know how you're going to find out how to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why when I work with people who are looking to write their first book, we work together to create their own framework, because actually when you're writing, you're a reader first. So we send people to their bookshelf and we say, okay, so what are the things about the books that you love that you want to emulate in your books? And that can give you a framework that you can break the rules within, right? This is not about saying, this type of book is better than another, therefore I must do X, Y, and Z. It's around cherry picking the bits that you love, creating a structure that you can then break down how to write your book. So, you know, it's quite a lot of work. So you're not going to sit down one Sunday afternoon and do it end to end. So, okay, how do you want to start your introduction, for example? Okay, so what introductions have inspired you in other books you've read, and how can you look to do that in a way that's you? So we kind of work on those sorts of ways, and like you say, that is applicable to anybody that's looking to write their first book.
Yeah, I think saying we dive so deep into this, so go and tune into, because we're just giving a real taste now, but finding our voice, it is so important, and this is such a powerful way by writing a book, isn't it? It's such a powerful way of giving a bit of us to the world for whatever purpose it might be, whether, as you say, a university book, whether it's just an entertainment, sharing our stories. It's our way of having a bit of a legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really like the idea of kind of imagining who's going to read your book and then writing it as if you're talking to them. You know, and particularly for the parents that are watching, you know, imagine that you're reading your child a story. Now imagine that your reader is there and you're speaking to them.
You know, I'm just so inspired. I'm like, right, I'm doing chapter structures and all my little brain.
I am very excited about your book, Kate.
Well, viewers, yeah, I keep alluding, but watch this space. It is coming, and I've put it out there. Like when I first started talking about Midlife Unlimited, and look, we're almost coming up for a year in December. So this book, Your Empty Nest Epiphany, she's a coming. Not quite sure when. Next year sometime. Not by Christmas. I don't think I can do that. But you do have something coming up next month, September, that will help, and I may well be part of this. I'm definitely doing your workshop next week. Making something doable by Christmas. What
Yeah.
is this all about? It's coming up September, isn't it?
Yeah, so the program that I run is Coach Write, which is for coaches who are looking to write books. And the idea is that within 90 days, you can get your first draft done. So actually what we do is we create that structure and then we break that down into a daily word count. So you're talking about writing a page a day for 3 months. And that will give you at least a good chunk of your first draft. Now, obviously, that's pre-editing. So again, I'm very much a believer in tell people what is realistically achievable. You will see people that are, you know, like in the coaching space, make lots of money in 15 minutes. I don't advocate any of that kind of thing. But actually, 3 months of dedicated work, you can absolutely get a big chunk of your first draft done, if not the whole first draft, and then you can move forward with getting your publishing process underway.
So exciting. And it's all about taking that first step, because I talk about it all the time. You're all about it. By just procrastinating and going round and round in circles, you're not going to achieve anything. But I love the whole 90-day, little steps for 90 days. I think we're going to amaze ourselves. We really are. But all your contact details for anyone wanting to get in touch are in the show notes for our episode and on the Midlife Unlimited podcast website. Can you verbally just spell out your contact details, please, for anyone wanting to get in touch?
Absolutely. So anyone that's watching this on LinkedIn, that's an easy place to find me. And I'm also at helenoneillcoaching.com. And that's O'Neill spelled Oneill. And all of my links to my books, my one-to-one coaching and the Coach Right program are all there.
Brilliant. And also, obviously, show notes, you can get in contact with me there. I'm on LinkedIn and Facebook, Instagram as well. And the Midlife Unlimited podcast website link is there, where you'll find details of my Midlife Metamorphosis coaching offers. So thank you so much, Helen. I could talk all day, but I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go. Enjoy the rest of your day and lovely sunshine.
I know.
Thank you for watching. Look forward to tuning in for next week's Life of 5, because don't forget, there's a new episode of Midlife Unlimited every Thursday, and every week I catch up with my guest on a Life of 5. So here's to being fabulous and flourishing together, and to living Midlife Unlimited. Thanks so much, Helen. Bye.
Thanks, Kate. Bye.